Okay, here we are again. This is the 17th video of the Wheel of Samsara. We'll go through a little review here, but we are going over this Thanka right here, the Thanka of Samsara, this big giant wheel. And we have Mara on the outside who is taking care of the whole thing and making sure it all turns. And on the inside here, we have the three poisons or five poisons. If you go back to the video, you can see what I was talking about. And then you have karma. Karma is good karma that raises you and bad karma that brings you down. And there's also neutral karma, but that's very subjective. And we'll talk about that again in the future. We just got finished going through all of the 12 parts here of the wheel of dependent origination. So each one of these depends on each other who arise, right, in our development as a human, development as a person, actually, as a being that can realize emancipation from these. We do that by seeing what the Buddha will tell us, show us by pointing. Show you. He's pointing the way. We don't get excited about him. He's like, whoa, hey, calm down. Look over here. And he's pointing to there. Don't get excited about his hand. Don't get excited about him necessarily. But let's see where he's pointing. He's pointing to the way. And here in this one, because it's a Tibetan version, we have the six-syllable mantra, Om Mani Padme. And on this side over here, we have either the to see to heaven or the Pure Land or Mount Meru or whichever you want to call that one in there. So we've gone over this one here, which was the Deva realm. Remember, the Deva realm is like very much like everything's blissful, man. Things going good. Best days. That's being in the Deva realm. When you're up there being a movie star in your own world, things are going good. Life is good. Then we're going to come over here to this one, which is the Asuras. Okay, the Asuras is the kind of called the conflict realm sometimes, or the realm of jealousy, because these guys down here are so upset. These guys up here, because they got all the cool stuff. They got this neat tree, and this tree gives you all kinds of cool fruits. These people are pretty happy with it, and neener, 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 and these guys are like, well, I'm going to come up there and take it from you. I'm going to even cut down that tree over here. And they're actually in charge of keeping care of this tree, which is weird, right? So in a palace, but you're envious of other things, and you also have to worry so much about like your position being taken. Um, it's jealousy and pride and competition based. So we can totally relate to this kind of thing, especially these days when you have people who are really upset about people who are movie stars or whatever, famous people and politicians and stuff like that seem to have it so easy, even though we can be up here and without being a movie star, without being a politician, without being famous at all, we can have all kinds of life, right? And we have to be not attached to it. Down here, we're so attached to what they have that we really want it, and we're going to fight for it. We're going to be tooth and nail and crawl over the other top of people. And there's like all these hierarchies and all this kind of stuff. Think of capitalism, right? People don't like capitalism because it seems like all the workers down here are toiling in the mud and stuff, and all of the fellas up here, they get all the benefit, right? That's what this is trying to explain to us. And then how do we use it in our daily work? Or how do we use it in our meditations? The way to do it is to have sympathetic joy for these guys up here, right? They're doing well. Be happy for them. Also, we want to make sure that we start to learn about equanimity, right? All things being the same. We understand that this too shall change, that this too shall be different, and we can do better. And we can have setbacks and not to be so attached to we can do better that we get frustrated when we don't and are not overly frustrated, I should say. Right? We're not getting all upset. Um, when we see that when we win ourselves, we're not too prideful, right? And this you see a lot in most of well, in Buddhist culture for sure. In Asian culture, you see it quite a bit. People don't like to brag about themselves, and we want to try to be a little bit more like that, just because it'll make us feel bad. We may look stupid later because I'm bragging about myself, and later on it falls apart. Now good, or bragging and making someone else feel bad. Right? So we're always trying to think of what our um, what our actions are going to do to not only ourselves but others. That's just kind of a way of being. So with this one here, the meditation is to let go, right? Is to let it be. Have some equanimity, have some sympathetic joy, right? Be okay with people doing well. Be okay with I mean, striving still, but not so competitive that you're injuring others, right? Like even in most of the precepts and stuff, it talks about like causing harm to self or others. We don't, not doesn't say don't do this, don't do that, but like notice if it is, that's a what I call a precept. You think ahead, right, of something like I'm doing something. Is it going to cause harm to someone else or to myself? If it is, then I try to change it, right? And that's development of wisdom, which is what we're trying to do here. So this is an entire poster just trying to like develop our wisdom, how all of this stuff works. Okay, here we go. The Asura realm. I mean, this poor guy over here, he's going to touch his feet because he's the big kahuna or whatever it is. And here he looks like angry Buddha, sure. But we have people here, they're doing their thing. They have to toil, right? They're toiling, working, 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 fighting with each other, fighting with the devas to try to get what the devas have. Devas want to keep what they have too, right? So it's all about attachment and letting go and being okay with the way things change. So this is Reverend Sean over the center path. Don't forget to come up this way at the top here. You can see the next, or down at the bottom over there on that side and see the subscribe, and go to the bottom and you can leave a comment, give me some information, go from there. So this is what, number 17 I think it is of this whole wheel of Samsara. We've gone through the whole thing. If you'd like to go through the beginning and just watch the entire thing and take some notes, and then you'd have availability to get yourself uh, some wisdom. And this is for contemplation. Whole thing, this whole poster is to teach us. It's not just beautiful, not just really cool, but it's also to teach us. So this is Reverend Sean. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take good care, and we'll talk to you later.